Hey everybody, Force here. Today I want to talk a little bit about SR Decay. This isn't going to be an Overwatch news video, there's really not much going on the weekend, but I thought it'd be interesting to go over this topic that I've seen some discussion about recently. Now, the Decay system was originally implemented back in Season 2. It was something that they put in to basically just keep people honest about their ratings and about their rankings and to keep people interested in playing the game. However, it was just recently with this last season that they bumped up the requirements on the Decay system, essentially now requiring 7 games a week in order to keep your rating if you were above the rating 3000. So anyone diamond and above had to play 7 games, has to this season play 7 games a week, and if they don't, their rating will start to go lower and lower until the bottom of 3000, at which point the decay will stop. Now, Blizzard's idea with this is to, as they said, improve accuracy of the player's skill rating, make maintaining multiple high-level accounts more difficult, and make upper-tier placement more meaningful. It seems in the process, though, of having this much stricter and much higher requirement of games being played in competitive, that it's turned a lot of people off to playing competitive altogether. People with a lot of other obligations, lots of things to do, or maybe just people that have other games that they also like to play. Getting in those 7 competitive games a week becomes really frustrating. And some people might initially say it's not that hard to play 7 games a week. That's 1 game a day. Games last less than 20 minutes. You can't fit in 20 minutes a day. Well, some people can't, or some people like to play a couple warm-up rounds before they jump into competitive, at which point the 7-game requirement a week becomes much more like 14 or 21 game requirements if you include some warm-up time and warm-up matches. But even then, there is an argument to be made that, well, if those people don't have the time and the commitment, then maybe those people don't belong in those higher ratings. And that's also worth noting that it doesn't change your hidden matchmaking rating, it just changes your displayed visual, the number that you see associated with your rating. Your skill level will still be that when you return. You'll still get matched up against players. Say if you start at 3500 and you decay all the way to 3000, when you come back and play, you're still going to be playing at people at similar skill about the 3500 SR where you were before. It's just your number will now say 3000. But that's also a bit of a buzzkill and a bit of a motivation killer, and for that reason I can understand why there are some people that this system is almost frustrating enough to stop them from playing, which is so funny because a system that's designed to kind of get people to play more, Blizzard is saying, okay, instead of 1 game a week now, you need to play 7 games a week. So they're trying to get you to play more frequently. That kind of pressure is enough to stop some people from playing altogether. Now, there's all sorts of different suggestions. One of the most common ones that come up is to make the system less harsh and make it more of a tiered system. So for Diamond people, maybe you only need to play 1 to 2 games a week, Masters 3 to 4, maybe GM and above has to play that 5 to 7 games. I've also seen some suggestions that just say, raise the bar to 3500, or even include saved games, which actually I think this is a pretty fantastic idea. One common complaint with the SR Decay system is that people, when they go away on vacation or they go away for work, they have these life obligations that keep them away from the game for more than 7 days, then they will just decay. But if you make a system where you could bank games, maybe 1 week you play 14 competitive matches so that next week you don't have to bother. I think that'd be a fantastic kind of workaround as well. But overall, I wouldn't be opposed to them kind of lowering that 7 game a week requirement, at least for the diamond level. At least maybe 5 or 4 will be enough for those people. I mean, there was a big jump. We went from 1 required game a week to avoid decay all the way up to 7. That's a big jump in requirement. And I get the idea. One of the big things, again, Blizzard said it themselves. The reason that they're doing this, according to them, isn't so much to force people to play 7 games a week. If you're gonna play competitive, you got to be playing it all the time, consistently, competitively. They're claiming that it's more so to make sure that people who are trying to maintain multiple high-level accounts, having several accounts at top 500 rating, which is a big problem they had in prior seasons, they want to make that more difficult to happen. They also want to make it so that it's a more accurate representation of your skill level, the number that you see. And if you don't play for some time, I guess Blizzard is claiming that maybe, you might not be as good as you were when you last played. it's a bit of a head scratcher. I don't know why 1 week off would all of a sudden, you know, drop your rating several hundred points, drop your skill level several hundred points just because you're not constantly jumping competitive, but it's the system that they've designed. You know, either way, this was their first crack at this new implementation of it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do some further adjustments, whether that's dropping the number of required games, whether that's upping the threshold from 3,000 to 3,500, or even adding that bank of saved games. Any combination of these, I think, would be a little bit of an improvement over what, for some people, seems to be a motivation sucker in this 7-game requirement that we have at the moment. And then, of course, at the end of the day, you know, we have to all remember this is just a number representation. As we said, it doesn't change your skill rating level, but a change in that visual number, a drop in the SR that we see that is surfaced to us, that does affect people. I mean, that's how the reason that they exist is because it affects people, because it's a motivation to try to climb, because people like seeing those numbers getting higher. At the same time, they really dislike seeing it get lower, and for some people, that's enough to get them to stop applying altogether. The system is designed around us caring about it, so simply write it off and say, well, you shouldn't care about it, it's just a number. Well, if that's the case, then just get rid of the fucking system altogether. But that's not what Blizzard wants, because they want us to be hooked into it, and they want us to care about it enough to keep playing. It's all the psychology behind game design, guys. It's just how it works. Alright, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. As always, I'd love to know what you guys think about this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.